My name is Talese. I'm an 82-year-old writer of nonfiction. Started off doing pretty much what I do now, which is writing without the use of tape recorders. Very little technology. In the beginning, I would carry this little address book. And as time went on and I got to know more people, I bought a larger book, this leather-bound address book. I bought it probably in the early 1960s or the late 1950s. I always, in the beginning, particularly wrote in pencil. So I might have different phone numbers which would be smudged over with an eraser. The word networking wasn't in the vocabulary in the 50s and 60s when I was on the street as a reporter. But my address book was, in a way, a vehicle for networking. After about 30 or 40 years, I ran out of space where instead of writing a new name fitted into space that wasn't there. So I started pasting things in or scotch taping them in. There's something decorative, interesting in how to put things you want to remember on pieces of paper, reference points, references to people. It is an eclectic gathering of names and phone numbers. There's nothing harmonious, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of names and addresses. All they represent is at one point or another, I had an encounter, a personal encounter, face-to-face encounter with every person listed in that book. Those people listed in that book have next to nothing in common with any other person in that book, except through me, through my endless curiosity. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, met him a couple times, Desi Arnaz a couple times, Harry Belafonte, Bobbitt, Lorena Bobbitt. I know Lorena Bobbitt because in 1993, she was on trial for the malicious wounding of her husband's penis. She actually chopped it off with a kitchen knife and actually ran off with it. I was writing this story for the New Yorker, never published it, but I got to know the Bobbitts, both of them. The guy who was the unfortunate loser of penis, John Bobbitt, and her, but I still hear from them, individually, of course. Tony Bennett, we often have dinner, and one time he invited me to watch him rehearse a record with Lady Gaga and Mario Puzo. I met Mario Puzo before he wrote The Godfather. Philip Roth. He's a very private person, as everybody knows, but what a great writer. It's probably the reason he's a great writer, he doesn't waste so much time with people. Peter O'Toole, there's a guy I remember. He's dead now. Boy, that was the most interesting man I've ever interviewed. I make a point of not erasing names as a rule because people might be dead and the phone number might be dead as well. Most likely the phone number dies before the people do because people move and the phone number changes, but they don't move out of your mind. I'm a record keeper. I am a person who cares about the past as much as the future. I don't think that it is ethical to erase the past. People say there's something old world about keeping an address book, and I think that is true. Everybody has a story. In the alphabetical order of my book, they're all there. Not the whole story, but a reminder of the story. More than a half a century of good and bad times, of triumphs and disasters. My address book is kind of an address of my mentality and my movements and my moods. Our life is a continuous relationship with changing personalities, including our own. That book is a connection to my whole life. And it's part of my whole life.